this song and video are inspired by Carl Jung's idea of the shadow. The shadow represents all of the unconscious negative behaviours that we're unaware of within ourselves. And in this case, it's an attachment to something in the past that's hindering the present, or at least the potential of the present and the future. It's about the effort to remove the barriers to consciousness. So this is Yester Castle, which was built in the 1200s. A man called Hugh Gifford, who was, according to legend, a warlock or wizard, and he had control of an army of goblins, and he commanded this army of goblins to build in this castle, but more specifically this chamber where we filmed the fight scene in the video.
Well, we've shot this video at Yester Castle, which is in East Lothian and is more or less within the grounds of a golf course, and it's an old abandoned castle, and there are, you know, dog walkers and the usual that only obviously local people who know of the place turn up there, so we did have to deal with that a couple of times during the shoot. But it's kind of in the woods on the edge of, you know, you have to traipse across a couple of fairways, a couple of greens, and work your way around. So part of the thing was, you know, obviously we were having to, it was a very independent, sort of small, micro budget shoot. So getting everyone there for, you know, early in the morning on the Saturday and the Sunday was took some planning and sort of logistics of everything like that. It's in disrepair, but thankfully is safe. So there's a lot you can shoot around in the place. What was perfect about it was that you have the sort of outside area that's slightly, that you can walk around the ruins freely, and then it has an interior as well, and that was kind of perfect for what we wanted to achieve with the video, and have, you know, particularly the story of the character being outside and then being drawn inwards to have the final conflict inside. And it just kind of, sometimes location is really key, and just what it had for us was really, it gave us a lot to work with, but it gave us some sort of structure as to where, and some boundaries as to where we could and couldn't go, but I think it just also gave us a lot of freedom within that.
It's the idea of the hero's journey, I guess, like Joseph Campbell, this idea that you have to journey into the underworld to confront the dragon. And only once you've done so, you return with the gold. That gold being what you bring back to your community. So I knew that this chamber could be used in some way to symbolise that. So the whole video was born out of knowing this place and knowing that could be used really symbolically.
What you're looking for is that you're relying on people to collaborate with you, and people get on board with the idea and be enthused by it, and muck in, essentially. And in that regard, certainly primarily the two cast, Christy and Simon, brilliant and totally up for it and prepared to get out there and brave it, because it wasn't the best weather. It was February, so it's cold. On the Sunday when we turned up, there was actually there had been a snow shower, and everywhere was covered in snow, so was a bit of a mild panic about whether we could actually film that day, having already shot so much without snow. But the weather was so changeable that within a couple of hours it had melted away. But yeah, when you see the scenes where we're shooting in the water and getting in there, and Sergio, the director of photography, and myself were, you know, in our wellies standing in the freezing river, filming Christie at water's edge, and it was really part of that sort of low budget mentality of it was that we were able to try things, so little techniques that I think they're a lot of fun to experiment with, sort of using mirrors under the water to, you know, create that enhanced sort of water reflection. Be settle and action. And step out. Step forward. And cut there. That scene inside the chamber is this battle and the cutting back and forth, so we had to shoot a lot in there. And then I made the costume changes because obviously what has seemed up to that point as two separate entities they're actually the same entity, it's just different facets within the one person. You know, the sort of the shadow self and the conscious self. And we have that moment in between where it's quite quick in the edit where they jump sides and you suddenly, you know, costumes have changed before switching back quickly. It's interesting that we shot so much within 2 days that I would say there's probably 3 parts of the initial plan video that aren't in the finished video, and that's kind of unusual, and getting what I needed without shooting, you know, endlessly just for the sake of it, and actually, you know, right, we've done that, we need to move on.
Yeah. Archetypes are patterns of human behaviour and nature. They don't possess agendas, whether that's political or ideological. And I think by using these symbolic motifs we've managed to transcend cultural restrictions.
Hit it flat, the biggest part of it, we should smash a bit better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do.
There we go, there's your dinner.
How does that feel? I touched myself. Having Caroline, who did our makeup, was great. She had a lot to sort of do because, as you can see in the video, there's the two characters swap places, they change costume, and therefore the makeup changes. You know, Christie gets sort of darker eye makeup, and we had to sort of change, and that all had to be factored in as well. And obviously we're out there in the sort of the elements, so we're at the mercy of the elements, and you know, and our camera assistant Yester as well, who worked really hard with us, you know, because Sergio had so much to do as he was operating, and you know, she was helping with the lighting, with you know, switching lenses, and obviously we were jumping between sort of DSLR and GoPro footage as well. Clear to let you know that he's gone. Is that
yeah, and then that means I can hear it. Yeah, that's good for me. I forget we're not recording sound.
You can get as close as you want. I mean,
yeah, as close as I want.
Yeah, get as close as you want, because what I'm going to say, I'm just going to shout clear once you're back.
Okay, perfect.
And the gate can move.
Cool. Okay, so we'll go for a take. And you want me to stay right behind her or to come back here? On the side?
Stay right behind.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, come down and round. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Camera set.
Set.
And action. Clear.
credit Sergio enough for his work on it. You know, but that's that's his style. He's not really phased by it a lot, and is always keen to. It never seems to be like we can't do this. It's we can do this. It's always, he's very, very positive, and he's a fantastic operator as well. I mean, that's one of the great things. So you don't have to spend a fortune on rigs and stuff like that. I mean, that was, you know, so we were able to do that, be quite loose, and I worked with Sergio quite a bit in terms of, and with Christy or Siam in terms of, because we're obviously not recording sound, we could you know, it was the first time I'd really done that, having usually done sort of sync sound drama pieces. Usually my notes are in between takes and then that's it, but this time being able to essentially direct during the take was an interest. I tried not to do it too much, but it was very, I think it was helpful. We managed to get it out, and because obviously Christy having to act behind the mask, therefore a lot depended on the physicality, the movement, hitting the marks, and you know, the timing of everything, and you know, everything lining up, the timing of the camera. That's really about that cinematography, the movement within the frame.
Good. What's that?
There's an end board. Just let me see this frame quickly.
You got that picture?
Yeah, great. Stand by and action. And end board. Quicker than that. Move up.
Yeah, a bit quicker.
Yeah, the move up. Yeah.
I think it's good, but we'll just when we get to that the side camera.
Yeah. Right. As soon as it goes again, we'll go again. You just go again. Sergio, happy with the light? As it can be?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's just been a bit strong, just a second.
I think we need to wait a few more minutes.
Yeah. The standout scene for me is the battle, the choreographed battle, which has its influences in Tai Chi movements, and I think the location, again, that sort of thing of us, you know, putting in all those candles, and those are real candles. They're not like prop little battery LED flickering lights. They are real candles. When we go around, we had to light them, we had to place them in there. Absolute credit to Christy and Siam for picking up the routine, working with it. And it was something that it wasn't, we didn't go in there, we hadn't rehearsed fully beforehand. We kind of rehearsed in the space and saw what we could do, and they fed into that conversation as well. And it really, I think it tells, and it just, everything about it. We've got the light coming in. When we shot with so much natural light, we literally had only a little battery operated light to give a little bit of something, a little bit of fill for some close-ups here and there. Obviously we had some bounce points, but then again we wanted this dark, this you know, the chamber had to be dark, it fits the mood. And yeah, I think that's the standout for me. I also particularly like the scene just outside in the sort of the castle grounds, where we have the band members scattered like this, like debris.
Our ego is a construct of all our illusions about the world, and that's what the masks represent, is the way we would like others to perceive ourselves, which has absolutely nothing to do with the reality of who we actually are. You know?
In terms of telling a little sort of, I don't know, I'm saying mini movie, but it has that sort of short film quality in it, but is cut to the music, and I think it all fits together pretty nicely.
Simon's done a brilliant job to really capture what we wanted to achieve here, and the two actors, Siam and Christy, were just really amazing. They really got into the parts and really immersed themselves in those roles, you know. So, yeah, tremendous job, especially for the budget that we were on, you know.
Missing